shit up.
What am I doing? So yeah, thank you all for coming out. Not an excessive turnout, but it's sort of like a nice little like coffee shop sort of setup when you like go to a coffee shop and there's a stage and chairs and no coffee at all. I'd sort of like to open this by addressing maybe like the elephant in the room of sorts. I know what you're all thinking, and I agree with you. My outfit is fantastic. Let's break this down from the bottom up. Okay, let's start with these shoes here. I don't know how well you can see them. They're just great. It's just like, damn, I'm gonna get some mad puss in these boots. On these pants, I like these pants because they're very complicated pants. You see back here, there's like a button, and there's like a little flap, like this is a button you can unbutton and then put your wallet in there. But that's not where the pocket is. There's no pocket under the flap. You just stick your wallet like this. And I like that. I like complicated pants because complicated pants demand respect. Like if you see a guy with a lot of zippers or something, you know that he has like really well thought out opinions about life. Right? Moving up, I have this shirt. Pretty great shirt. Makes you look at my chest. Awesome. All right, onto my hair. Now that's not clothing, but we can still talk about it. People always ask me like all the time, Kyle, why do you, like, does it ever bother you to have hair in your face like 24/7, just sort of blocking your vision? And the answer is no, because my hair is soft like rabbit fur. So to me, it's like having a baby rabbit just tied to my head all time, which I think is the goal. So that's how I decided to open my set. Could have done a lot of things, but instead I just sort of suddenly got you to stare at my ass for 30 seconds. I bought this shirt in a mall in my hometown, in a store next to a Dippin' Dots called Express. You guys ever been to Express? If you haven't, let me explain it for you. Express is this chain store in malls across America that it's a specialty clothing store that caters to tall, skinny children. And so I was there buying a shirt, and it was really hard for me to buy this shirt, or it's really hard for me when I go shopping at all, just in general, because I'm never 100% sure, like I like something, and I always feel like there's something a little wrong with it. I'll be sitting in like a changing room, and I'll be looking at myself in the mirror trying to figure out if I like this shirt or not. And I just feel like something's wrong, but I don't know what's wrong. I don't know if like, maybe I don't like the color, or like the collar's kind of weird, or I just hate myself. You guys too, great. Very relatable comedy on stage right now. Have any of you ever been so bored that you literally Google things to do? The results suck, right? It's always like, look at the clouds, or have a foot race. Never anything you'd want to do. And at the end of every single one of those articles, every single fucking one, every single website with a list of things to do, they always just phone it in with like, I don't know, have sex with someone. And it's like, it's Saturday afternoon, 3 o'clock. I'm alone in my underwear Googling things to do. Sex was never on the table. Google is like really useful though. The one time I found that Google can't help you find something is if the thing you're looking for just like doesn't actually exist. Recently I wanted to buy a t-shirt that I had just in my head, and I wanted to know if like maybe someone made that t-shirt. It was a t-shirt with like, just a plain shirt with like a picture of a baby on it in the middle. So just like a t-shirt and then like plain color and then maybe like a big picture of a 1-year-old baby. Don't get the right idea, like not as like a disguise or anything. Like I wasn't gonna put on this shirt and then walk up to a stroller and be like, oh, look at me. Swipe. Cause like I'm not gonna steal a baby. But even if I was gonna steal a baby, like you don't need a disguise to steal a baby. I mean, yeah, it helps. Which, by the way, that reminds me, like, there's this weird fantasy that mothers have in our culture, that like someone is going to kidnap and molest their child. Like a stranger is going to kidnap their kid and molest them. And I think that's really unfortunate because, statistically speaking, if someone is going to molest a child, it's usually someone the child knows, not a stranger. It'd be like a relative or like a teacher or like a priest or something. And it's like 100 times more likely to be one of those people than a stranger. But on the flip side, just with objective statistics, what that also means is if you have a child and you introduce me to your child, I'm like 100 times more likely to molest that child. Which, like, that's not good. Like, I'm uncomfortable with that information. I did not know that about myself. Every time I meet kids now, it's like super awkward for me. It's like, hey Kyle, have you met Jimmy? Don't even listen. You don't know what I'm capable of, man. What was I talking about? T-shirt with a baby on it, right. So, I typed t-shirt with a picture of a baby on it into Google, and Google was just like, well, we got a lot of shirts for babies. I was like, Google, no. So then I followed that up with t-shirt with a picture of a baby on it, comma, not for babies. Still nothing. So I was like, okay, one last hurrah, I'm gonna try Google image search. And what do you know? Pornography. Why not? Every fucking time. It sucked. I was in a public place too. Luckily no one asked about it. I didn't want to have to explain, like, no, I wasn't trying to find porn. I was trying to find a t-shirt with a picture of a baby on it. So there's that. I feel like everyone in this room is growing up a little. We're all in college, I think, unless you just sort of walked in here, in which case, hey. Like we're all sort of maturing. Like I'm 20 now. I haven't been 20 most of my life. Most of my life, actually, I've been sitting in my bedroom in a chair where I'm safe from scary things like hornets and murderers and getting a job. Things like that. But growing up, there are some good parts. You get to try new things that you weren't always able to do. Like last summer, I went to a strip club for the first time. And I don't want to sound like I'm not in the know, so I'll try and use the terminology here. I made it rain? wait, hold on. That means crying, right? Yeah, I was crying in the strip club. That's not true, actually. I wasn't crying in a strip club. I was crying in an Olive Garden. This might be a surprise to some of you, but I guess if you know me, it's probably not. But I have in my life, I have had problems with high school bullies. Big shocker, I guess, yeah. But this wasn't in high school. This was like last summer. I'm 20 again. Back when I was in high school, no one ever picked on me. But as soon as I turned 20, it's like all of a sudden I'm a target for these kids. I'll give you an example. Last time I was home, I was meeting a friend at the park, and I saw this group of sort of adolescents walking in my direction on the road next to the park. And I could tell they were 15 years old because they were angry. They had that look of anger on their face that only like 15-year-old suburban kids can have. So they're angry because they're not old enough to drive. But they're too young to know that there's nowhere to fucking go. So they're mad, they're kind of minding their own business, but they have this look of mischief on their face, and I try to ignore them. I'm not gonna like ask them, like, what are you kids up to? Like, I'm 20, I'm not that old yet. And so I'm walking by, and then I hear a noise, and I look down at my feet, and there's